chat. So all I'm trying to say in this slide is that for the Lasalites, the Ateneans, for the Pulasas, and the Assumptionistas, I have no school loyalty. So, so I graduated with a degree in marketing from the Assumption College. And I also did take a certificate, a course in marketing from the Kellogg School of Management. So those are the pertinent things in this slide because we're talking about sales and marketing here. I think being sales is a great thing. You know, it's very dynamic to be in sales, and honestly, you have to be motivated by money to be in sales. So I have to be very candid about that. Anybody who's not motivated by money shouldn't be in sales. Do you agree? Okay. So, briefly, Richard talked about my career. So I have been in the IT industry for 27 years. So I think at the start of my career, I had an inclination to go to sales already. So it was an accident, me going to the IT industry. Why was that? I was going for my practical, and I didn't know where to go. I called my friends, they were all in IBM. They were telemarketers. And what compelled me to go there? It was the money. In 47 years old, in 1988, here is a schoolmate. So in 1988, we had to do our practicum. And at that time, IBM was paying 60 pesos per day for practicum training. That was a huge amount. So I went for that. Now I realized, hey, I really had a sales mind right there and then because I was being motivated by money. So that's where I started. I'm currently with Microsoft. I head the enterprise sales team. I lead a team of 5 senior top executives, and we handle the premier accounts of Microsoft. And a lot of you are here in this room. I also have reporting to me account technology strategists who are responsible for being consultants to our top customers, giving guidance on where we should take your IT infrastructure, whether it be on-premise or on the cloud. So why does my team exist? We exist to enable our customers to focus on their core competencies and grow their businesses. Not here to sell you a product. We're not here to sell products. We're here to allow you to focus on growing your business and growing your and focusing on your priorities. How do we do that? We do that by giving you solutions that drive efficiencies and support your business growth. And what are these solutions? They can be on-premise solutions or cloud solutions. To me, a seller does not talk about products. Talk about Office or Windows because Microsoft is known as Office or Windows. We are not about that. We are about enabling you and your businesses. So I've also had the privilege of working for IBM. I started my career there for 17 years. And then I was with SAP for a while, and I was also privileged to have worked with Sawada-san in NEC previously to my return in Microsoft. So I had just recently returned to Microsoft in January of this year. Now, my career, I have not always been in sales. Half of my career has been in operations, and half of my career has been in sales. And I'm very glad to have been in the operations side of things. Dealing with customers, you hear customers saying hard sell. But when you talk about solutions and you talk about your experience being a customer as well, that brings you the credibility of providing your solutions to your customers. Now I am back to doing what I love doing most, earning more money. I'm into sales management. Now, so again, I will not be preaching about how to be a good seller, but this is what has worked for me. So as a seller, you have to understand the role and motivation. It's surprising because I've led sales teams, and sometimes you'll be aghast at salespeople not knowing how they're measured, not knowing what they're selling. And that is the primary thing that you should know when you're a seller. What is your role as sales and marketing? How are you compensated? You're a seller. You have the ability to earn more than your monthly pay. Optimize it. So understand how you're compensated. Know what you're selling. What are you expected to sell? So I go to what the previous presenters had said. Be passionate about yourself. The most successful sellers actually believe in their products. So I guess I'm an example of that. I had left Microsoft 2 years ago and I returned. Why is that? Because I believe in the product capabilities and what we can deliver to enable our customers. Next. It's not always just about quota. It's also understanding what your growth indicators are. Especially in this day and age where IT is transforming from on-premise solutions to cloud solutions. For a seller, the revenues that are coming in are much less. But it is about changing with the times. It is also about changing with your customer. It is also about what are those growth initiatives that you have to focus on so that you grow with the company. It's being very forward-looking and not just looking at how you are measured today, but also positioning yourself to make sure that you succeed in the future because you look at how you will be measured in the future. How will you achieve your target? It's about knowing who your customers are. It's about having the foresight to determine where will I get my quota this year. Because you're not just here for the short term, you're here for the long term. So it's about continuity of the business. Okay, so we talk about customer satisfaction. So these are the things that go into it. Deliver value to your customer. How can a seller deliver value to a customer if you don't believe in your product? You have to believe in what you're selling. Otherwise, your customers will see through that. When we go to a customer, it's not about, hey, I have office. Please buy office from me. The heck's that? So it's about understanding what your customer needs are. One of the key things that I've learned in my selling experience is that customers come to us and say, you know what, Beth, don't assume that we know what things are there out in the market. Because more often than not, we assume that. Think of us as ignorant. We may be CIOs, but we don't know what's out there. So one of my experiences when I was with NEC, my eyes, was really opened up to a lot of new technologies that we didn't even know about. So I'm already in IT, I'm already an IT seller, and I didn't even know that. So being in IT, it helps for us to continue learning about new technologies and communicating to our customers what's out there. Sometimes the unimaginable is actually available. So, like when I was in NEC, we have a partnership with Microsoft. Our customers are amazed, especially our retail customers, when I talk about facial recognition connected to our CRM solution, where you show a customer through a display wall, products or catalogs, let's say clothing, and you can see yourself wearing them visually on that screen, your face right there, because of the Microsoft Connect technology and because of the NEC solution at the back end. So some people don't even know this exists, but they exist today. So it's really about understanding what your customer needs, having the knowledge of what's available out there, and bridging this gap. Next, agree on conditions of satisfaction. A lot of cases, sellers will just always say yes to customers. And that shouldn't be the case. We are all running businesses and we work within certain parameters. And it is okay to say, sorry, Mr. Customer, I cannot do that. I cannot discount it. That will be against my compliance within or governance within the organization. So it's okay to say no. These are conditions of satisfaction which set the parameters within which you engage. And the customer will freely say as well the parameters of within which you will engage. And this now level sets that relationship and that partnership. And I think that's to level set that and not to give incorrect or unrealistic expectations to the customer. Next is about providing solutions. So I started by saying why my team exists as a sales organization. And it is about solutions. So a lot of our sellers actually sell the product and not the solution. So it's always good to keep in mind that a solution is never a solution unless it's deployed and consumed, and unless it delivers the capability that the customer expects. I think it's no different from a beauty product where, you watch TV, you see that, wow, that will make me look beautiful, and then you put it on your face and it doesn't. Right? So it's not a solution, it's just a product. And that's what we are trying to avoid. In the industry I work for, and I guess in most industries, we cannot, succeed alone. We leverage partners, especially in IT. We have resellers, we have systems integrators, we have ISVs. So your success as a seller is not only yours. You have to know how to leverage a team. You leverage a team of internal partners. So in my world, my internal partners would be my technology specialists, my technology strategists. Even my leaders are my partners. So I leverage the president of the organization to help me close my deals, and all other executives, whether regional or local. Aside of that, of course, we work with SIs and ISVs. So we leverage on strengths and capabilities of these people, because you're not perfect. You cannot move forward on your own. And the key thing for a seller is to be able to orchestrate a deal. Orchestrating a deal means that you are able to put all these resources together to move forward in the same directions. So a seller is not merely one who sells a product. A seller is also a manager of a business. You manage opportunities, you manage your territory, and you manage your business. So a seller is a leader as well. Having said that, so that's the preachy part of it. So what have I learned in my experience in selling? So what made me successful? I remember when I joined Microsoft, my first mentor there said, "So Beth, at the end of this year, what do you want to achieve?" So I told him about meeting my quota. No, that's not what I'm talking about. What is your personal motivation? So I said, I want a new house, and I want to be able to pay for it. And he goes, how much is this house you're buying? So I gave him the amount. And he said, after the end of this year, you're going to pay for that house. And it happened exactly like that. I was amazed at how personal motivation got me to where I should be. That is actually my number one learning. Go big on your personal aspirations. So I started with that. So this is really just to inspire the new sellers in the room. I've invested in property. We've invested in a lot of material things. We have savings, and we are able to send our children to the best schools. So go big. If you can buy a house in, let's say, Forbes, aspire for that. Even if it's high up there, because who knows? You can get there. In fact, one of the sellers who reports to me refuses to be promoted. Why is that? Every year, she buys one new condominium property in Taguig. Every year. Refuses to be promoted. So go big on your aspirations. The sales role is a role where you have control over your earnings. Be passionate about what you're selling, because you're not limited by what you're earning monthly. You can really go big. In fact, I remember one of my mottos is, you acquire the go-to-hell money, or you acquire the go-to-hell skills. And sales can allow me to earn the go-to-hell money. Why is that? When I become tired, really old, which is probably a few years from now, I can just say, go to hell. I want to rest, I have the money. So the sales is the place to be at, to achieve value. Next. Fail fast and move on. Right? So salespeople feel that if you're not able to close a sale, shucks, I'm a failure. Oh my God, what will my boss tell me? You are not the end all and be all. So there are opportunities that you will be able to address, and there will be sales that you will lose. So don't mop in one corner. Move on. Fail fast, learn from it, go to the next sale. Just move on. So a lot of sellers that I have worked with are so depressed because they lost to competition. It will happen. Competition is out there. You always try to be the guy that they choose. But unfortunately, sometimes your product does not have the capability they need. So it's okay. So move on. I learned that. Last but not the least, ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. So my GM right now, GM of Microsoft, Carrie Lagan, is actually responsible for bringing me into sales. How she discovered me was, I was in a billing and inventory management role in IBM. She went inside my room and said, you know what, I don't see you building your career just sitting behind that desk signing invoices the entire day. I see you as a salesperson. So I moved on to sales. She is the same person who told me, you know, you have an ego. Which is true. A lot of us salespeople have an ego. Because we feel we're really good. We bring in the sales. I bring in your salaries. She said, you know, take away that ego. Ask for help. You can't close the deal alone. Go to me. She tells me, go to me, use me. I can take away the blockers for you. If you can't talk to the president and ask for the business, use me, learn from me. So that's a critical thing. It is okay to ask for help. And I've learned from that. And another ask for help, it's not just about internal, it's also external. Reach out to your customer and ask for help. So when you achieve delivering value to their customer, my experience is you can go to him or her and say, I need the business. I've delivered the value to you. I've shown you the capability of my solution. How can I close it with you? And they will close it with you. So it's okay to ask for it. So a lot of junior sellers are scared to ask for it. The worst thing is you'll hear a no. When you hear a no, don't stop there. Ask, how can it be a yes? How can I move forward with you? What is it that I need to improve on? What value should I show you? So ask for help. It is okay to ask for help. Those are the things that work for me, and I part with this quote. You may have a fresh start any moment you choose. For this thing that we call failure is not the falling down, but the staying down. So in sales, a failure or a loss can feel really depressing. And a lot of times, you know, we feel, okay, wala akong gana, I don't want to do it anymore. But no, I go back. Fail fast, stand up, move on. We're in sales. Be motivated by what you can earn. Be motivated and passionate about what you can sell. Be motivated about how you can help your customers solve their problems. Okay? But at the end of the day, again, why do we work? We actually work for our families. So that is my real motivation. I am motivated by money. I should be. I'm in sales. And so should the rest of you in sales. But the real motivation for that money is my family. For us to be able to provide for our children, to provide for their other lives, our parents, so that we can support them, and whatever else. And before I end, since customers are people, right? They're not monsters, sometimes they scream at you, but it's okay. It helps to develop personal relationships. So, share our passion. So I love interior design, I love history, I love the theater, and I love music. And for a lot of people here who know who I am married to, yes, it also is a perk that I am married to a rock icon in the Philippines. And that opens the door for me when I talk to customers. So, given that, a lesson learned is marry a celebrity.